So, apart from the Bible, can we know that God exists? A common objection that atheists or secularists in our culture will often give is that you can't really know that God exists or that God is there. That it's something you can have faith in that He is there, but there's not really a way to really know, to have justified rational belief that there is a God there. But this is wrong. I think it's obviously wrong. The Bible assumes that it's wrong as well, but I think we can use our common sense and reason to know that it's wrong as well. And we don't even need the Bible to show that God really is there, for us to know and that God is there, and that there are certain things about Him that we can know, certain truths about Him. And even Scripture acknowledges this. It doesn't map out some complicated argument for why there's a God. It assumes that you already know that, and it gives some reasons why people know that. So the Psalms talk about how the heavens declare the glory of God and the skies proclaim the work of His hands, that we're able to look out into nature around us and see there must be a creator. And this is essentially Paul's argument in Romans 1. Like, hey, you Gentiles, you pagans, you don't have the Bible, you don't have divine revelation, but you do have creation around you. You do have the world around you. And because of that, you know that there is a God, and you know certain things about God. So Paul argues in Romans 1 that without the Bible, without divine revelation, you know that there's a God, that He's powerful, that He has certain attributes, that He's just, that He's good. You know these things about the Creator, and you can't not know them. So let's think for a second about what we mean when we say we actually can know that there is a God and certain things about Him from creation around us. And it's really a really simple concept that even my own children, my very young children, can understand. And it's that things that exist, or effects we can call them, have causes. And everything needs a cause sufficient to explain the effect. So, for instance, if I see water boiling on the stove, I know that the heat got turned up on that. But even more than that, I know that someone actually had to go and do that. Someone had to turn the gas on the stove and get that flame going in order for that water to start boiling. If a window breaks at my house and my kids are outside playing ball and they ask, I say, hey, who broke that window? And, oh, no one, it just broke on its own. Well, we all know that didn't happen. Something caused it to happen. So as we look at the world around us, we see its beauty, we see its intricacy, we see what appears to be design in nature and just the way things function and fit together. We see things have an orientation or a teleology. We look at the heavens above, we look at the earth around us, and it screams for an explanation. And really, as we think about being a rational being, we require there to be an explanation. And it needs to be an explanation that is sufficient to explain the effect that we see. So as you maybe zoom out a little bit or march your mind back in time and you think about the world, we need an explanation that can make sense of the whole universe and everything in it. So this explanation can't be the universe itself, right? Things don't create themselves. And it can't be something that just popped into existence, because we know that things don't just pop into existence uncaused. And so creation and the universe screams for an explanation. So if the universe is all things material and physical, so it's time and space and matter and energy and that sort of thing, whatever the cause is needs to be outside of those things, or not bound by them, or something different from them. So it would need to be a cause that is spaceless and timeless and immaterial. And then we can deduce other things too, like this cause would need to be really, really powerful. And as we look at the beauty of the universe and we look at its intricacy and how well it fits and works, we also can know that this cause is very wise and very genius and very good. the world, even though there's lots of pain and suffering, we can see that there's so many features about the world that are really objectively good. And all of this screams to, or points to, or is shouting towards the source of that. And as you start, thinking about all of these qualities that are there, so this power, this timeless, this spaceless, this immaterial, this, the ability to will something into being, and the goodness and the wisdom and all of that, you start making a list of what those things will be, and it starts to look really, really, really similar to the God of the Bible, to the God that's described in Scripture. And so this is why all throughout time, in all cultures, cross-culture, cross geographies and ages, whatever it is, belief in God is something that just naturally happens to human beings. And people aren't born atheists. It's the opposite. People will become atheists to one degree or another. But the natural inclination of the human heart is one that recognizes that there is a God, that there is something or someone powerful outside of this world that has sort of imposed itself on this world, and in particular that has created this world that we see. And this is just really rational. It's a conclusion that you can jump to without recognizing all the steps. You look at the Grand Canyon and you just want to worship because you see the beauty of this creation. And this is why men are without excuse. We can look to the world around us and know that there is a God. And it doesn't take a genius or a rocket scientist to know this. My 5-year-old child can understand it, and the smartest of philosophers and astronomers can understand this argument as well. And this is why Paul says that men are without excuse. When we look to the world around us, we can see from the created world, from the universe, that there is a creator, and he is powerful, and he is good, and he is wise, and we owe our allegiance to him.